Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard this morning again. Oh my goodness, 2 days in a row. It happens every once in a while. But friends, this morning talking about a potential trade for the Oilers that won't happen in season from the sounds of it, but something moreover that could be worked out during the course of the summer if the Oilers make a move or two to part with a guy like Jack Campbell. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Welcome aboard. If you are new to the channel, I'd encourage you to hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV and stay tuned for all things Edmonton Oilers this season. But as we continue along, friends, the Boston Bruins are an intriguing situation mainly because they've got two what appear to be starting goalies on their roster. Now, both goalies have used a 1A, 1B system to tandem back the best team over the past year and 3 months, I would say. The Boston Bruins have done some absolutely incredible things since the start of the 22-23 season, and Jeremy Swayman and, of course, Linus Ullmark are pegged to eventually be moved somewhere because I think it's natural that you can't have two stars in one crease night in, night out. So that's where we lead into this Jason Gregor excerpt from his show this evening on Sports 1440, coming from Joe Haggerty, of course, a guy who, if you're an Oilers fan, you've heard the name before. He's a guy that's kind of talked about some stuff when it comes to the Oilers and the Bruins over the past little bit. I think he had something in the mentions of Nugent Hopkins with the Bruins this summer. I believe it was him. I don't want to say for sure, but again, that's kind of one of those things is I'm sure he touched that subject at some point this summer because it seemed like everybody in Boston at least mulled that over for a few days there when that news broke in a piece back in the summer. So we begin with saying I think it is a plausible idea of them parting with one of their goalies because they are high on Brandon Bussi in the AHL. So Brandon Bussi is kind of the next one up in the Boston Bruins goaltending situation, and he's obviously pretty much forcing his way up if this is where we're at with it. But I don't think it would be an in-season move because they are relying so heavily on both goalies this season. They've needed great goaltending, have the Bruins, and you look at that too. The Bruins, I mean, they are built from the crease out, obviously, with Swayman and Ullmark, so you would assume that they didn't have one or the other. There would be some fallback in their game from the past little bit from last year. So the big thing now is for the Bruins as well to see what the effect of losing Patras is going to be here for them over the next little bit because he's been now loaned to, of course, Team Canada, who we'll be watching here on Dolynny TV during the holiday season. Well, he's been loaned for a little bit. He's been at times the Boston Bruins top line center from everything I've read. So keep that in mind right now. The Bruins are set to go under a few changes over the course of the next week or two. But again, this one, like I said, not an in-season trade. This would be something further that the Oilers would have to explore in the summer, right? This is something where does Jack Campbell possibly get bought out? Does Jack Campbell get traded somewhere like Arizona? Well, what do you do there to make that happen? I don't know. Again, maybe Anaheim's the destination for a guy like Jack Campbell. The possibilities are endless with Campbell because nobody's stepping up to take him. So it's not like we're going to be able to sit here six months out, I guess, be able to name 5 teams that would possibly take Jack Campbell as of today, 6 months from now. So that's kind of where we're at. But again, just something to keep an eye on, right? That's basically all I'm telling you to do is keep an eye on this one because I know the Oilers have been long tied to either Swayman or Ullmark over the past year and a half as Campbell and Skinner have dipped and bounced and dipped and bounced and dipped and bounced. So be interesting to see what happens here for the Oilers with this one. If it kind of heats up a little bit there in January, February, maybe the Oilers force a trade sooner because they give up so much. I don't know. I don't know how you make the dollars work. But to give you an idea here as well of what those two guys are doing in the Boston Bruins crease so far, this is kind of the interesting part here as well. The Boston Bruins have been a very good team this year, right? They're 19-5-5, first in the Atlantic despite losing Krejci and Bergeron. And you look at that, Linus Ullmark's 10-4-1. Jeremy Swayman's 9-1-4. So both goalies playing 15 games this year. have both been pretty spectacular. Crazy that the Bruins have played 29 games already. Yikes. But you think about it, Swayman's been 206, 933. You'd love to have those kind of numbers or something even remotely close to that on the Oilers side of things. And Linus Ullmark's been 279 and 915. Hey. If you had a goaltender in Edmonton that had played 15 games this season with those numbers, we'd be second in the division right now. That's quite simply. If you had Linus Ullmark playing alongside Stuart Skinner, we'd be second in the division, no problemo. So friends, that's kind of where I just wanted to touch base this morning and talk about something that piqued my interest this evening as I sit down to record. Of course, catch you in the evening for tonight's live stream, which would be, yes indeed, the Oilers going out east and getting started at 5:30, I think it is. Whew. Giddy up, I guess. I'm Tyson, Dolynny TV, up on, out of here.